In the quiet town of Blackridge, nestled in the Arizona desert, life moved slow. Retired Marine Corps pilot Colt Maddox had found peace there after years of war. His days were filled with rebuilding motorcycles, mentoring troubled teens, and raising his 17-year-old daughter, Emma, the only bright light left after losing his wife to cancer. But peace doesn't last forever. Late one night, Emma didn't come home. Her phone went dark. The next morning, her body was found in a ditch near a bar known to be frequented by the Iron Vultures, a violent biker gang that had been tightening its grip on Blackridge. The coroner's report confirmed what Colt feared. Emma had been assaulted and murdered. Witnesses were silent. The sheriff was scared. Justice wasn't coming. So Colt Maddox prepared for war. Colt wasn't just a pilot. He was a Force Recon Marine, trained in black ops, infiltration, and elimination. The skills he buried with his uniform were dug up one by one. He dusted off his gear, built an armored chopper with a custom M60 rig to the side, and mapped out every known associate of the Iron Vultures. The gang laughed when they heard the news. They stopped laughing when Vulture Jimmy, the enforcer who last saw Emma alive, was found hanging from a telephone pole outside their bar, with a carved message in his chest: "You picked the wrong girl." One by one, members of the Iron Vultures started disappearing. Warehouses exploded. Arms deals were interrupted. Colt was methodical, surgical, brutal. He interrogated, recorded, and exposed their secrets. He became a myth, a shadow that struck at night, leaving behind destruction and symbols of military precision. But the Vultures weren't amateurs. Their leader, Rex Malone, was ex-military too, a dishonorably discharged Army Ranger with a sadistic streak. He brought in mercenaries, reinforced their compound, and declared war on Colt. The final showdown came in the desert. Colt, now joined by a few loyal brothers in arms, ex-Marines, Navy SEALs, and a retired CIA operative, launched a coordinated strike on the Vulture stronghold. Drones, thermal imaging, and a makeshift airstrike using a modified crop duster Colt had rigged with napalm. The battle raged for hours. By dawn, the compound burned. Rex tried to flee on a chopper, but Colt shot it down with a stolen RPG. The two faced off, fists and fury under a rising sun. In the end, Colt rammed a combat knife through Rex's chest, whispering Emma's name as he did. Colt didn't wait for thanks. He disappeared after turning over evidence to the FBI that dismantled the remnants of the Vultures and exposed widespread corruption. Some say he died in the desert. Others claim he rides the highways, a ghost on two wheels, saving others where justice fails. All they know is this: don't mess with a Marine's daughter. Because sometimes, vengeance wears dog tags. The Vultures were broken, but not dead. A new leader rose from the ashes, Deacon Slade, Rex Malone's second-in-command. Crazier. Meaner. And he had something Colt didn't know about: a bounty on his head. $500,000, dead or alive. Word spread like wildfire through every outlaw biker gang, cartel gun runner, and black market syndicate. Colt became a target. As he rode across the Southwest, tracking down the last of Emma's killers, he was hunted. Ambushed at a gas station in Texas. Shot at by snipers in New Mexico. Chased by a gang of armored bikers through the canyons of Utah. But Colt wasn't just surviving, he was sending a message. Every kill was a calling card. Every ambush became a trap. He filmed them, released footage online, exposed corrupt police chiefs and trafficking routes. People started calling him the Reaper on Wheels. He didn't care about the name. He cared about the list. Emma's killers weren't just gang members. They were part of a deeper rot. Colt found evidence of a trafficking ring that reached into private military contractors, ex-intelligence officials, and billion-dollar defense firms. Emma wasn't a random victim. She stumbled onto something she was never meant to see. In D.C., whispers began. Project Shepherd, a Black Ops mission gone rogue, was tied to Deacon Slade's rise. Funded under the radar, it created militant proxies using biker gangs as cover. Emma, working on a journalism project for school, had unknowingly filmed a weapons drop involving Slade and a defense contractor. She had uploaded it to a cloud account the night before she was killed. Now Colt had the footage. And he had names. He leaked part of it anonymously. The media firestorm was instant. But before more could come out, the full force of Shepard's rogue operatives came after him. Drones, kill squads, dirty cops, all coordinated through encrypted channels. Colt needed help. So he turned to the only people he trusted, his old unit. One by one, the old war dogs answered the call. Rico, Ghoul, Vasquez, sniper and demolitions expert. Angela, Fury, Blake, helicopter pilot, and Colt's former wingwoman. Travis Boone, ex-hacker turned off-grid survivalist. Master Sergeant Nate, ironclad, Winters, Colt's mentor, now living in a compound in the Rockies. They assembled in an abandoned Air Force base in Nevada, turning it into a war room. With satellite maps, surveillance intercepts, and years of combat experience, they prepared for the final assault, exposing Shepard, destroying Deacon Slade, and burning the system that killed Emma. The last mission wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about justice. And it was going to be bloody. The plan: infiltrate a private gala for defense contractors in Las Vegas, plant evidence, extract a high-value target with intel, and burn down Shepard's communications hub in the Mojave Desert. It was fast, loud, dirty. Angela flew low in a stolen Blackhawk. Rico provided sniper cover. Boone hacked into security. Colt and Winters led the breach. Deacon Slade, armed with a custom AA-12 shotgun and a team of mercenaries, met them head-on. But nothing stops a Marine with a cause. In the chaos, Colt cornered Slade in the server room, steel, blood, and smoke all around. The two fought like animals. In the end, Colt impaled Slade on a broken rebar, whispering, "That was for Emma." The files were uploaded. Names, money trails, classified operations. The world saw the truth. Colt didn't disappear this time. He turned himself in, gave full testimony to a Senate committee, and became a national symbol of a soldier who refused to let the system bury the innocent. He served 2 years for weapons charges. When he got out, he rebuilt Emma's motorcycle. He rode the highways, speaking at schools, veterans' homes, and biker rallies, not as a hero, but as a warning. You hurt the innocent, you better pray I don't find you. Because justice rides on 2 wheels. And sometimes, it wears a scarred leather jacket and a dead daughter's dog tags around its neck. Colt thought it was over. He thought exposing Project Shepard and bringing down Deacon Slade ended the war. He was wrong. A month after his release from prison, an envelope arrived at his doorstep, no return address. Inside, a photo of Emma, taken 3 days before her death, from a camera angle Colt had never seen. Behind her, blurred but unmistakable, a tattoo of a wolf's skull on a man's forearm. Below it, she was just the beginning. The wolf. The tattoo wasn't tied to the vultures. Colt hadn't seen it in any Shepard files. But the name? He remembered it from his Black Ops years. FINRA, a ghost unit, deniable assets used for unsanctioned hits. Even the CIA whispered their name. Officially, they didn't exist. Colt had just stepped into the second layer of the conspiracy. His unit warned him to let it go. But Colt couldn't sleep, couldn't breathe. If Emma's death was part of something even deeper, he couldn't walk away. He started digging, tracing dark money, military contractors with phantom payrolls, off-books airstrips in Eastern Europe, missing agents, dead witnesses. Eventually, a clue led him to Prague, a disavowed former MI6 agent named Thomas Vale, who once tracked FINRA during the Balkan conflicts. Colt flew there under an alias, using forged papers and his remaining contacts in the veteran underground. Vale didn't welcome him with open arms. He welcomed him with a pistol to the face and a warning. FINRA doesn't kill you. They erase you. And everyone who ever knew you. But after learning Emma had died because she uncovered something she shouldn't have, Vale relented. He handed Colt a dossier. FINRA wasn't just real, they were active. Colt learned FINRA was planning something massive, Operation Ragnarok. An orchestrated false flag attack in the Middle East meant to reignite war, fuel defense contracts, and shift geopolitical power. Billions were on the line. And standing in the center was the man with the wolf skull tattoo. Kane Wexler, ex-Delta Force, rogue operator, and founder of FINRA. Wexler was a monster, a legend among killers. And Emma had accidentally captured an image of him during a deal in Arizona. Her death was a cleanup. Just one of many. Colt made a decision. He wouldn't stop Operation Ragnarok. He'd bury it. And he'd drag Wexler down into hell with him. Colt reassembled his team. Angela, Rico, Boone, and Winters returned. This wasn't revenge anymore. This was a black war against the darkest corner of their own government. They infiltrated FINRA's supply lines in Turkey, took out forward bases in Afghanistan, stole satellite intel in Berlin. Everywhere they went, they left a message. The Reaper is coming. Wexler responded with fury. Colt's safe houses were bombed. Angela's chopper was shot down over the Black Sea. She survived, but barely. Winters was captured and tortured for days before Colt rescued him. Boone went dark after a cyber attack on Fenrir's financial pipeline. The team was bleeding, but they weren't broken. Not yet. The final battle took place in northern Iraq, in an abandoned oil refinery turned Fenrir command post. The Ragnarok files were their proof of everything. Colt led a covert assault under cover of a sandstorm. He moved like death through shadows. Explosives. Blades. Silenced rounds. One by one, the wolves fell, until only Wexler remained. The two faced off inside the burning refinery, surrounded by fire, memories, and ghosts. Wexler was stronger, younger, savage, but Colt had purpose. He fought with the weight of his daughter's soul on his back. He beat Wexler bloody, then tied him to a fuel line and lit a flare. Emma sends her regards. The explosion lit the desert sky for miles. Epilogue. Legacy. The files made it to the UN. Ragnarok was exposed. Fenrir was dismantled. Names were named. Governments were embarrassed. Reform was promised. Colt Maddox disappeared once more. Some say he's dead. Others claim he rides through war zones saving children, exposing killers, burning the darkness wherever it hides. But every now and then, a black motorcycle pulls up to a cemetery in Blackridge, and a man leaves a single dog tag on a grave that reads, Emma Grace Maddox. She lit the fuse.